My name is Han. I'm from Halogen Capital, and I'm going to give a quick 20-25 minutes about what you can do with Bitcoin other than just gambling, right? What you can do with Bitcoin to really actually think about it in a new way that can really help you in retirement. Wow, sounds very shocking. How can? Completely not the right way to think about it, right? It is. I promise you. Spend 20 minutes with me and you will change your mind. So today I'm just going to quickly talk about why should we bother with improving our retirement planning? Number two, what can we do about the situation here in Malaysia today where we might have some retirement issues? Number three, where is this new asset class, Bitcoin? Is it too late? What's happening here? And then four, the secret sauce. How much makes sense, right? And then sometime at the end for some question answer. Wow, very small. Can't see anything, but it's okay. You can call me Han. I am the founder and CEO of a company called Halogen Capital. I've been in the industry for almost 20 years now. And between traditional financial markets and this new asset class, Bitcoin, has been almost 20 years of my life. Obviously, the more recent one has been Halogen Capital. I was a former banker, fintech entrepreneur. Now I'm a fund manager, have been for the last few years already. So what do we do at Halogen, right? Very simply, we are a licensed fund manager specializing in crypto funds. So unit trusts with crypto inside. That's what we do. We manage unit trusts with crypto inside. And in the last 2 years of being licensed, we've hit almost 300 million of assets under management. And because we are a unit trust, right, we can be distributed by your friendly unit trust people, right? In fact, I noticed Affin is right here. If you're an Affin customer, you can actually get Halogen products as an Affin customer because we distribute via them. We make products for banks here in Malaysia to distribute crypto to individuals such as yourselves, investors such as yourselves. So when I tell people I am a fund manager and I manage cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, people always ask me, hey, Han, cryptocurrency, are you an exchange? Good question, but the answer is a little interesting. Hopefully this slide gives you the clue. We are a licensed fund manager. So when I say fund manager, actually you're an investment expert now, right? InvestFed. You all know the difference between a trading house and a fund manager, right? So in the equity world, you know lah, all the brands are here. You can trade on Mumu, Rakuten, CGS, all here, right? And then the fund manager side, which means unit trust people manage on your behalf, don't need to do it yourself. Maybe you don't have time, don't have the patience or time to do it. You have a fund manager to do it, right? Some of the big boys are here too. AHAM, Kananga, all here. In the crypto world, the same exists. You can trade. There are a few of them here. Luno, Tokenize, all here. But if you don't want to trade yourself, you're a bit nervous about doing your own. You don't, or maybe you don't have time, right? You're expert actually, but you don't have time. That's where we exist. We exist there in that corner there, where we help investors manage their crypto assets. And because we're a fund manager, we have funds. We have funds actually across both traditional assets. We actually have ringgit funds, but we also have our flagship funds, a Bitcoin fund, Ethereum fund, and a multi-coin cryptocurrency fund, the Sharia Crypto Titans Fund. All our funds are here based in Malaysia. They're all T+1 liquidity. They're all Sharia compliant, and they're all based in ringgit. So that's kind of us in a nutshell, Halogen Capital. Let's talk about this topic I have today, which is Bitcoin's place in the retirement portfolio. To get to why you should have it, let's talk about this question first, which is, does it feel like retirement planning is getting harder? Every few weeks or months, we hear in the news, Malaysia is not ready for retirement. It's very difficult to retire. On one hand, Malaysians are living longer, right? And on another hand, cost of living is going up. These two things mean very simple one fact, right? Which is people are having to either one, retire a lot later, means work harder, so to work longer, have to save up more money, right? Or if you want to retire not longer, you want to retire the same age, you end up with less at retirement. That's just one or two ways. There's no other two ways about it, right? Because of these two factors. Number one, people are living longer. Two, things are getting more and more expensive, and we are getting older as a society. So when I think about retirement, right, we cannot escape this one concept, which is EPF. Hopefully, some of you have EPF accounts here. If you don't, KWSC proof is right there. But EPF is a very important tool. Let's not make two ways about it, right? it has become not enough, insufficient, not enough for many of us, right? It's not me saying this, that's our EPF former CEO. He's now Minister of Finance. And every few weeks or months, EPF will come out with a statement saying not enough of us have enough retirement funds. Our retirement funds also, you think you have enough, but we have to change it because of cost of living going up. We have to do new tiers. Basic living not enough. You have to go something called adequate, something called comfortable, something called luxury. They started creating tiers. And long story short, what they've realized is that the majority of Malaysians are underprepared, right? So as investors, actually, we are all investors looking for something more. Otherwise, why are you here? Just stay at home, maybe have lunch and eat early, watch a movie, and hope EPF can save enough for you, can invest good enough for you, lah, right? But we're here at Invest Fair because we are looking to do something about it. What are investors looking to do about it? We're looking to change, we're going to improve our retirement outcome, right? If you are concerned that your own saving, your own investment portfolio is not going to be enough for you, there's a few ways to do it, right? One is to, save more, invest more, no choice, right? You want more, save more, one way. Second way, work longer. Work longer means can save up more long, but then work longer means retire later, means enjoy retirement less. The third way that most people are looking at right now here, and for example, at Invest Fair, is how do I optimize my returns, increase my returns? Fun. How can you tell me just increase returns? It's easy, I can just do it. No need your right. Increase that. So easy. The one thing that you have to remember, whenever you're chasing high returns, it usually comes with higher risk, right? They always say, oh, you want high return or high risk? No? But what I'm here to tell you is, by thinking of your portfolio in a new way, it need not be the case. You need not take higher risk, right? You can take similar risks and really optimize your returns. And to this end, investors are looking beyond just equity and fixed income. So in EPF, unfortunately, about 85 to 90% of EPF portfolio is still this equities, nickel and foreign, bonds, foreign, right? And people are going to alternative asset class. So when I say alternative, I mean things like property, commodity, VC, P2P lending, everyone has heard of. So some people are going for interesting things like vegetables, art, watches, wine, gold. But people are starting to go more into this new asset class, maybe not so new anymore, more than 15 years already, cryptocurrencies, right? And within cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, the largest cryptocurrency available. Now, when I use the word crypto, people get very shaky and very scared. Wow, Hann, I heard so much about it in the Star. Always I hear bad news, bad news, bad news. But what I can tell you is that this is starting to be effective with 2025, a legitimate asset class. No longer niche, no longer small. Crypto is not a small thing. No need to worry. Like when it comes more serious, only I look at it. No. It is not small anymore. It is a $3.3 trillion bet, right? And to give a sense of how big that is, it's hard to imagine how big that is. Okay, FYI, like for example, Malaysia, the entire equity market in Malaysia is 2 trillion ringgit. So that's 5, 6, 7 times smaller than the whole crypto market cap. It's already much bigger than even this Malaysian market. And in fact, right, if you look at assets globally, right, like crypto now is the third largest single asset in the world. Gold is obviously the highest single market cap asset, single asset market cap. Then crypto is bigger than most of your big tech stocks that you can think of today. It's very hard to ignore it. Okay? And this is just the one message, which is it is no longer possible for us as investors to ignore. You must have a view. Good or bad is okay, right? But you cannot just say, I actually don't know, it doesn't matter, right? Have a view. Positive or negative, never mind, but must have a view, right? And a lot of people ask me, hey Hann, I heard of this crypto, I heard of this Bitcoin. In fact, there's a few books here teaching about it also. I said, not real one. Digital, not real. No fundamental value. Well, I'm here to tell you that I can't do the full training in like 10 minutes more, but I'll give you an example. Why do we consider Bitcoin a unique asset class? It has fundamental value. People use it for something. What does fundamental value mean? It means it has a purpose, right? The purpose is to transfer money from one person to another person, right? Around the world, anytime. That sounds familiar. It is familiar. Global payment network. Think of things like Visa, MasterCard, right? It behaves like a payment network. Okay, so there are utility values, right? The second value that people use it for is something called a non-government store of value. What this means is Bitcoin as a network is not controlled by any one person. In fact, it's very simple. It is a network of tens of thousands of computers around the world storing your holdings. Think of like a shared Google Sheets. Okay, Han has one Bitcoin. I don't know. Han has one Bitcoin here. Somebody else has two Bitcoin, and 10, 20,000, 30,000 people, computers around the world, call them nodes, store this information, and you cannot just simply overwrite. And that has value. A global accounting ledger of what I own, right? And people are, because of this, no specific government controls it, and people are looking to invest more and more in it. And the other reason why people are starting to invest, not trade, not gamble, not trade, invest more in this asset is because of this last point, which is it is a very low correlation with other assets. I'll explain what this means later. But long story short, low correlation means when there's a big war that happens, suddenly equity might drop, fixed income might drop. Ideally, lowly correlated assets won't drop as much, or in fact, reverse. That's no to low correlation means, right? And these are financial numbers, right? I cannot make it up one. It just behaves this way. And this has actually potential in the portfolio, right? But a lot of people after that tell me, hey, Han, thanks for telling me all this. You should have told me this earlier. My friend just told me Bitcoin now is 100,000 US dollars. Sounds like too late for me to buy. Like, how to buy one? 100,000? Is it too late? And to answer this question, it is very simple. There are two or three ways to answer this question, right? Number one, it is really not too late. We are still very early, right? And I want to take you to I don't have a time machine, but I take you to the past, okay? Today, there are about 6 to 800 million users of cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin today. 6 to 800 million around the world. This is about just under less than 10% of the world population. This is similar to the number of internet users 25 years ago, 1999, 2000, 2001. I don't know if all of you remember how we accessed internet last time during that time. The dial-up modem, right? At that time, about 6 to 800 million users of internet also. Now, I don't have to tell you, right? If I took the time machine back to 1999, 2000, 2001, 2002, I told you to invest in internet companies, you probably won't do it. You'd be like, hey, Han, internet company, real one, digital only. They don't do anything, online only. Where your business? No company. But I don't have to tell you also that if you were there at that time investing in internet companies, as the number of internet users went from 6 to 800 million to today over 5 billion users, how well you have done investing in technology companies, right? And I can tell you that today, the cryptocurrency industry is starting to look like this 25 years ago, right? So I don't have time machine, but hopefully this is the next best thing. You are not too early, right? You are similar to investing in internet businesses in the early 2000s or late 1999s, right? Second, how do I prove that we are not still too early, number one, and we're too late, sorry. And how do I prove that, hey Han, you told me that Bitcoin crypto is very uncorrelated. It means when markets go down, what does Bitcoin do? It should go up, right? And I keep hearing of things that it doesn't go. So what I'll do is I'll explain the last 2 years and also the last 2 months. In the last 2 years, crypto has become the alternative to gold in somebody's portfolio when they're looking to, one, stave off inflation. Two, when they lose trust in governments, not government, governments, right? Where I'm not sure in a specific government how they're going to behave. And specifically in the last 2 months, there's a very specific government, the US government, decided to launch a trade war, a tariff war on everybody, which caused a lot of commotion in the markets, a lot of volatility in the markets. And what I'm saying is that everyone has been investing in US equities, US bonds for the last 15, 20 years since the financial crisis, thinking, oh, US should be okay. I don't want to invest in Malaysia. I'm scared of Malaysia actually. I want to invest overseas. From US. Everyone's saying, oh, buy US stocks, buy US treasuries. This has been the case for the last 50 years. But the last 2 months, people are starting to realize, hey, I just jumped from one government to another government, Malaysian government to US government. And this US government doesn't seem very reliable. Every week something new that this big fella is saying. He put war here. Just this morning, he launched a war. So for me, Why you don't trust your own government, you trust someone else's government? Better to trust more government at home, right? And people have been looking at number one, gold for this, but number two, Bitcoin. And it's proven or rather, in a big crisis, right? Bitcoin did show stronger resilience, and today it's rebounded back. It's close to its former highs, despite all this craziness. And part of the reason for this is because of that loss of trust in governments, right? And if you believe that people are going to trust their government more, that's your personal opinion. That's fine. But for me, we can see the markets moving across the world where people are starting to trust less in sovereign currency assets. Now that I'm telling you, is it too late here at Invest Fair 2025 June already? Hann, you showed me an old chart 2 months ago. It's too late lah. You tell me now also, what can I do? Well, I can tell you that. Let me tell you about a hypothetical unluckiest investor. Okay, what do I mean by this? Think of yourself as the most unlucky person. Means every year you only got 1,000 ringgit to spend. You can find 365 years, 365 days in a year. You go and find the most expensive price of Bitcoin in the year, and you go and buy. Every year. 2020, most expensive price, you go and buy. This is the most expensive price 2020, over 20,000 US. 2021, you go and find the most expensive day to buy, 67,000. 2022, you find the most expensive day to buy. The whole year, 365 days to make a decision. You buy the most expensive day. Most expensive. 2 months ago, you look up and say, hey, my 2025 Bitcoin purchase, I buy in March, 111,000. Most expensive day to buy. This is the strategy of the most unlucky investor in the last 5 years. Every year, buy on the most expensive day. Buy. How have you done? Your investment in the last 6 years, including this year, right? 2020 to 2025, it's up 31% on the compound annual growth rate versus double the value of your 6,000. Mind you, should I time the market? Should I gamble? Should I try this? This is the most unlucky investor. Every year you only got 1,000. Choose the most expensive day to buy every year. You are still doubled up on your investment. And this is what I mean by not gambling. No need gamble. No need time one. The worst timer also can make worse. Most unlucky investor. Then a lot of people ask me, hey, Hann, where's the market going? I can tell you, as a fund manager, we have in-house traders. You can meet some of them at booth 108 later, or just around the corner behind Afin here. Come and speak to us. We have licensed individuals looking at the markets, technical analysis, fundamental analysis, giving you advice on where this asset class is going if you want to do this. But actually, the real answer is not to do all that, right? After I tell you all this, right, the question you ask me is, okay, Hann, what's the strategy here? What do I do? Maybe I got 100,000 in my retirement portfolio. How much should I put? I put maybe 1,000. If it can 10 times, good. Lose all, never mind. Is that the mindset? I can tell you that is gambling. Might as well go to the roulette table, put some numbers, lose all, never mind, and 10 times, never mind. This is the wrong way to think about Bitcoin. The right way to think about Bitcoin is to use that portfolio context. When equities and stocks go down, and if Bitcoin stays steady or goes up, then I can rebalance. I'll keep the allocation there. Whenever Bitcoin goes up, I can sell some into equities and bonds, rebalance my. And this kind of portfolio rebalancing strategy is not new. This has been everyone. I think if you speak to anyone in investment, they will tell you the same thing. If you rebalance your portfolio, you will do well in the long term. And for me, my job in this space as the first licensed fund manager in cryptocurrency, in crypto funds, is to try to bring those traditional mindset into this new asset class, and you will succeed. And we've done it. We've done it at Halogen. We've done it with many of our clients. Very simple. In your portfolio, let's say you keep the risk low, 5%. And I'll explain to you why I use this 5% later. A 5% allocation in crypto, Bitcoin specifically, can give you higher returns and with minimal increase in volatility. Hopefully, you know what volatility is now. It means risk in a portfolio. Having this 5% and rebalanced and managed frequently allows you to have higher returns with no increase in risk. So, Hann, wow, you can choose 5%. How? I've chosen 5%. Sorry, the number is very blurred, but I've chosen 5% here because any less than 5%, you get less increase in returns. Any more than 5%, specifically for this portfolio, you get too much volatility. I'm not saying the truth already. Say, hey, Hann, you told me to get more returns, no extra risk, right? Can, but you've got to volatility adjust the allocation to make sure you're not taking any more risk and just getting that extra higher return, right? And the last trick about this is you don't just keep it there. So if I have 5% Bitcoin in portfolio, Bitcoin goes up 2 times, now it's 10%, right? I should just hold it and then win forever, is it? No. The answer is to manage your portfolio. How you will manage it with any other investment, rebalance it back to 5. Why? Because you don't want to take any more risk, right? You're looking at retirement. You're not looking at gambling. So that you can achieve the extra 3-4% return with no additional volatility if you structure your portfolio, right? And the difference can be huge. What is the difference between 6%? I don't know. This number seems very common now. 6% retirement return. Everyone seems to be confident to get now, right? I think so. But if you can get something closer to 10, what is the difference? The difference is huge. Very blurred again, sorry. But long story short, right, that extra 4% return you get, right, from having this new asset class, right, can mean retiring earlier, right? If you want to retire at 60, with this extra 4% return, you can retire at 53. Or maybe you want to retire at the same age, you can get double the amount of retirement portfolio assets for retirement, right? So either here or there, you can either retire earlier or you can double your wealth for retirement. And keep in mind, I'm not asking you to take extra risk. Please do not go and then sell out all today. No. I'm asking you to take the same amount of risk that you're taking today, but adding a little kicker into your portfolio and then managing it well. Now, if you're not confident of managing it, right, we can help, right? We have a classic view on this. How do I make sure I win? There are a lot of stories about people winning, some people losing in crypto. Some people win, you hear, I'm a millionaire. But I can tell you the vast majority of people trying to gamble or trade in crypto are not winners, right? So this is how to win, honestly. Number one, you've got to have a view. Cannot just say, don't know, don't care. If you're not in it, you're not going to win it, right? You have to be intentional about your position. Even you want to underweight, it's okay, but you have to be intentional. Number two, this is the number one message I tell everyone, every single client at Halogen Capital. It's time to stop speculating in crypto. It's time to start allocating. What I mean by that, stop gambling. Stick to true investment principles. You will get superior risk-adjusted portfolios, right? I don't make up the numbers. The numbers are the numbers. Our job is just to manage it on your behalf. And who do you get to manage on behalf? Hopefully you can do it yourself. I don't think that everyone should be using a fund manager necessarily. Those that have the time and the skill to do it yourself, please do it yourself. But for those of you who feel, hey, I'm not that confident, this is a new asset class, how should I manage this? Please use licensed people. Like we work very hard to make sure that we are very compliant locally. We are full license intermediary, fully licensed by the SE to do exactly this, right? Make sure your assets are properly segregated. A unit trust, the word trust matters, right? The word trust means there's a trustee there. And if you're keen, thanks for hearing. If you're keen, we're right there behind Afin there, the booth. Speak to our people to learn more about what I just said today. You don't believe me, also never mind. Question me, come back, I'll be there. Don't worry, question me and say, Han, I don't believe you. I will show you the numbers myself, right? If you're keen to invest, please scan our QR code here. Right? We're happy to answer any question you have. But that's my time already. I think I run out of time. Is it? Still a few more minutes for Q&A. I think it's a bit too long for Q&A here. But I'm going to end here and tell you all, look, hopefully you'll stick to my number 2 thing there, which is we've been introduced to cryptocurrency as a way of trading, speculating, can make money fast. What I can tell you today is that having analyzed this asset class, you can get rich slow. Get rich slow and have a secure retirement with this asset class. It's not a get rich class, a quick scheme, okay? So for me, I'll leave it here. Thanks so much for your time. Hopefully you learned something. If not, please see us back with 108 Halogen Capital. Thank you very much.